Thus, we have three more senators on the line. Senator Pangilinan. If Senator Pangilinan is not ready, we can call on Senator Angara, the chairman of the Committee of Finance.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to address a question to SVP Aragona. Is she still around, Mr. President?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, SVP Aragona, ano po yung purpose ng Adobe Master Collection? That's part of the proposed procurement for IT.
Yeah, that is also, may I correct yung po, yung Adobe, that's not 21,504,000 po yan. At a unit cost of 100.
Pakiulit ho, medyo choppy ho yung linya. What's the unit cost? It's not 21 million, you're saying?
It's not 21 million, but it's 504,000. The 168 units on the ISSP approved, that is the unit cost, and in 2020, isang unit lang po yung computed doon, kaya 1 times 168. Pero yung dun sa 2020, 3 units po ang bibili ng Adobe, and that's basically 504,000 pesos.
So how many units did you recommend to procure?
3 units at 168,000, and total is 504,000 pesos.
Okay, anong silbi ho nun?
Actually, we're going to use that for our something like the multimedia thing also for the Adobe.
Yeah. I just found out wala na po yun. It parang tulad nung sinabi ni Bal Laborte kanina na yung isang software ay nabibilhin ay obsolete. Napalitan na pala tong Adobe Master Collection ng Creative Cloud. Are you aware of that?
Come again, sir. Please repeat.
Yung Adobe Master Collection, hindi na pinoproduce ng Adobe yon. What they do is they've substituted it with Creative Cloud, a software called Creative Cloud. Are you aware of that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So baka yung kasi nag-update po din ngayon. There's a continuing update review of the different items. So there's the possibility na pagdating po doon sa actual, we will be changing din po the requirements, especially if there will be new technology. So ganun din po yung nangyayari sometimes pag nakaplan, and then pag nag-canvas sila and there's more updated product, so ina-update po nila yung specifications together with the innovations that is currently in the market.
Okay, thank you. How about ano yung plano nyo sa IT? Kailan makakompleto yan? Ano ang total cost po ng IT upgrade ninyo na lagi pong sinasagot ni President Morales sa atin?
Before I proceed with the digital transformation thing, so I would like to provide this information, sir, regarding na una po yung walang validation yung system. It's not true that walang validation ng system because if not, wala po tayong mga return to hospital.
Why are you, let me interrupt you, ma'am, because this is my time, no? Hindi ko naman tinatanong yon. Ang tanong ko po, what is the plan for IT improvement sa Philhealth? We support that ho, pero we don't want it to be a bottomless pit na hulog lang tayo ng hulog ng pera, ma'am, no? So give us the roadmap. How many years? How much will it take?
For the 3 years po, we have the complete automation end-to-end solution, just like what our PCO has told us. So all the processes will be automated. So we are going to have big companies to be involved here. Sir, I cannot give you the price because we're going to have the RFI. The roadmap has changed. It's not an individual project at a time, but it's really a one-time solution that we have. So can we be given sufficient time because we are now still in the process of getting an initial estimate for the end-to-end solution that we would like to embark with?
Yeah, ngayon nyo palang pinukuha yon na VP Aragona?
Yeah, no, sir. Kasi ang strategy noon, we have the Enterprise Resource Management Information System, we have the CRMIS Business Intelligence. Now, this thing is included po doon sa 2.1 budget namin, which was not yet approved by the board. So,
I want the complete roadmap. I don't want you to confuse us with technical jargon. Just tell us what will it take to modernize the IT of PhilHealth in line with what President Morales wants. How much time do you need to give us the details?
we have a 3 years map, sir, 3-year program, starting
Hindi,
20.
para ibigay mo sa amin yung detalye noon. Kasi sabi mo wala kayong presyo eh. Hindi naman yung sigurong niluluto pa yun, ano? Siguro.
Hindi naman,
Oo.
sir. Hindi naman,
Okay.
sir.
So how long do you need to give those details to us?
Give us siguro mga 2 weeks from now, sir, and we give you the figures.
Okay, sige po, sige po.
Yes,
Meron ba kayong nagkonsulta ba kayo sa mga ibang ahensya tulad ng because PhilHealth handles public monies just like GSIS, SSS, and it's meant to ang trabaho niyo talagang i-safeguard po yung pondo na yan. So that it can be used for its intended purpose. Nagkonsulta ba kayo sa mga ibang ahensya?
Actually, we are also getting some data information from GSIS, SSS since before. So, say now we're at par and using also some of the technology that they are using.
Okay, I suggest you consult them because matagal na nilang na-solve yung problema na sinasabi ni President Morales na meron kayong 130-year-old na nasa records nyo pa. Matagal na na-solve niya ng GSIS and SSS with the help of information technology. So that's my advice to you, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. President, can I ask President Morales a few questions? President Morales?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes po.
Sir, I remember in my first round of questioning po sa inyo, tinanong ko po if you think two of the whistleblowers are credible, namely si Attorney Keith and si board member Kabading, and sabi po ninyo hindi sila credible kasi may vested interest sila sa posisyon o kaya sa pagbenta ng lupa. How about Bal Laborte, who is your executive assistant and who you brought personally to PhilHealth? Do you believe he's credible?
Yes, until today, Senator, I believe he was credible.
Until today, bakit ho?
Because he did not divulge anything that he said here to me previously, and this resignation letter was straightforward, and he even thanked me for giving him a chance to serve with me in PhilHealth.
So, medyo masama ho yung loob niyo kaya sa kanya because hindi niya dinevald sa inyo.
Yes, sir, because he was supposed to be a very close confidant, and obviously he developed even closer confidence with Mr. Kabading and not with me.
Okay, thank you. But do you believe he has competence to testify on IT matters, for instance? Because he said he is Cisco parang certified ba yun?
Well, there was one incident, if I may mention, that made me seriously doubt his reliability for information, because we were attending a conference in Bangkok, and we were listening to a panel discussion. One of the panel members was a Filipino doctor. This panel this activity was sponsored by the World Health Organization. And when he saw this person, he told me na hindi sir yan ang tunay na pangalan niya. I was alarmed by this because the WHO obviously will not put a person with a false name up on a panel of resource persons. So from that time ho, I began to doubt his reliability. Yun lang po, that's the first time.
Thank you. How about General De Villa? Do you believe he's credible?
Yes, sir. He has always been straightforward to me. He is frank. He expresses his opinion freely, and I respect him. I respect him.
Ano po yung pakiramdam nyo na sinabi niya nag-resign siya for personal reasons, but he also said earlier that he believes there's corruption in PhilHealth?
Well, there is always corruption in PhilHealth, but I think the specific incident he was referring to was during the last Senate hearing when Attorney Keith identified General De Villa as pinpointing who the mafia in Philhealth was, and these were the senior vice presidents. At that time, the senior vice presidents identified, looked at General De Villa, and I felt that the confidence between General De Villa, a senior member of the management staff, and the SVPs was seriously compromised. And I informed General De Villa about that.
Okay, medyo choppy. Hindi ko talaga marinig masyado yung sagot. But anyway, I'll move on, President Morales. Do you know who owns this B. Braun clinic that received a lot of reimbursements or really received a lot of allotments under the IRM mechanism?
No, Senator, I understand that it is a corporation.
Oo, but every corporation has principals, the incorporators. You have no knowledge of this?
No, no, Senator, I have never met any of their principals.
Opo. Who were the officers approving the grant of IRM?
That is myself ho. I approve the IRA.
Ikaw lang ho. Kayo po ang, what's the process before it goes to you?
It goes to the regional vice president, and it goes to finance, and then to the executive vice president before it goes to me ho.
So tatlo pong approval bago kayo.
Opo.
Okay. Sir, I note what PACC Chair Greco Belhica said that grabe daw yung procedures dyan sa inyo pagdating ho sa legal. Are you open to working with the Anti-Red Tape Authority to speed up things and make things more efficient?
Oh, certainly. I was always looking forward to cooperating with outside agencies because I think they would be more effective conducting internal investigations of Philhealth.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Now, can I ask, is Captain Labortes, Sir Labortes still around? Is he around?
Colonel Laborte.
Colonel Labortes, sorry, yeah.
Yes, he is.
Hi, Colonel. Magandang hapon ho.
Senator Angara, good afternoon po, sir.
Were you part of the BAC or the Bids and Awards Committee sa PhilHealth ho?
No, sir. I'm working under the Office of the President po.
I see. So may binanggit ho kayo na very interesting sa akin, yung single calculated bid kanina. Would you know kung yun ang talagang preferred mode of bidding ng PhilHealth?
Sir, yes, sir. I'm just wondering, sir, why the 2018 and 2019 procurement, sir, yung mga implemented projects na sobrang significant yung amount, sir, big ticket projects, sir. Lagi, sir, na ang awarded as a single calculated bid, sir. So, lagi kong tinatanong, sir, ang mode of procurement, palagi naman nilalagay nila is competitive bidding. However, ang result is always single calculated bid, hindi lowest bidder ang nananalo, sir. So, sa tingin ko, sir, is nire-rig na nila before the bidding proper. Kasi ang dami po niyan na project, sir, eh. So, dapat, sir, nag-aagawan pa nga yung mga supplier sa bawat project, sir, eh.
Yeah.
During, kunyari, sir, 40 million worth na IT project, dapat maraming interesado, sir. So, dapat maraming magbibili ng bidding documents, tapos maraming mag-a-attend sa bidding proper. Pero ang nangyayari, sir, maraming pupunta sa bidders conference, sir. Pero during the bidding proper, isa lang, sir, ang laging pumupunta. So, sa kanya, ina-award, sir.
Okay.
Which is disadvantageous po.
Yes, Colonel. May alam ba kayong maraming mga purchases na yun din ang ginawa, yung single calculated bid, na walang competition, kumbaga?
Sir, almost all, sir, eh. Sa mga document set at contracts na review ko, even yung mga 2018, 2019 na implemented na, sir, isa lang, sir, ang nakita ko na awarded as lowest bidder, sir, eh. Isang contract lang. Out of siguro mahigit 14 na contracts awarded.
Sino bang in charge dyan? Sino ang members ng BAC? Sino nag-a-approve, etc.?
Formerly, sir, si Joseph Vergara po yung ang secretary ng BAC. Pero po sir, sa IT resources sir, merong sariling backhead yan sir. Yung head ng back IT resources. Si Miss Neri Santiago po.
Hindi ba siya yung parang nagsalita about the reserves of PhilHealth, si Nerissa Santiago?
Yes sir, siya po ang
The same Nerissa Santiago, yung nagsabing mauubos na yung reserves ho ng PhilHealth.
yes sir, siya po ang back ITR head.
Mr. President, is Ma'am Santiago still with us today?
Yes, she's
Mr. President, before we let go si Colonel Borte, with the permission of Senator Angara, may
Yes, sir. Of course, sir. Of course.
relate. Di ba heya ka ni dati ni General Morales? Head Executive Assistant.
Opo sir.
So, trabaho mo na inform siya about anything, about PhilHealth, di ba?
Yes sir.
Okay, hindi mo ba siya, kasi sabi niya kanina, ngayon lang niya nalaman, hindi mo raw siya iniinformahan ng mga problema sa PhilHealth. Did you ever, kasi ang information before, ni-red flag mo siya about overpriced items for procurement.
Opo.
Is that a correct
Opo, sir.
statement?
Yes sir.
So how did you inform him? Verbally, written, or how?
No sir, in a form of a memo sir. I wrote him a memo May 21 sir, informing him of 3 major findings that I have observed doon nga po sa AIG-ICT report, which is very alarming. And I told him that yung proposing overpriced or padded ICT equipment is a grave offense. And so as the non-recording of the details or information for property accounting. So may mga recommendations din po ako doon.
So anong ginawa niyo doon sa memo mo?
Hindi ko po alam sir kasi from May 21 wala na po akong narinig sa kanya.
General Morales, is that because sabi mo wala namang reliability si IT? Kaya hindi na aksyonan yung memo?
Sir, yung mga memo ho niya, pinadala ko sa mga staff to reconcile the figures and to explain kung bakit may discrepancy.
Thank you, Senator Angara.
Salamat, Senator Ping. Mr. President, can I go to VP Lim Shaco? Is he around?
Yes, also Ms. Santiago is here. So go ahead, whoever you want to ask.
I'll go back to Ms. Santiago after si VP Lim Shaco. VP Lim Shaco, are you here, sir?
Mr. Chair, yes sir, nandito po ako sir.
Opo. Sir, kayo pa bang in charge sa preparation ho ng financial statements ng PhilHealth?
The financial statement of PhilHealth sir ay nangyayari, ginawa mula sa regional office natin and then paakyat po sa central office and then consolidate ng ating controllership department, Your Honor.
What is your role ho? Do you sign off on the financial statements?
My role is to recommend the approval po of the financial statements, Your Honor.
And kailan po kayo kailan pa yung role ninyo ho? Anong mga taon ho? What financial statements did you recommend?
Pumasok po ako sa OIC SBP, Your Honor, last July 2018 po, Your Honor.
So kayo po yung nagrekomenda po nung 2018 financial statement and 2019 financial statement ho?
Yes po, Your Honor.
What about, kasi yung 2018 may mga adverse findings or disclaimer ang COA regarding your financial statements. At kayo rin ba ho nagsabi in the past hearing na naayos niya na yung mga issue na yon?
Your Honor, ang ating 2018 po na financial statements po, mayroon mga disclaimer ang opinion po ng ating auditor. And then po ay mga recommendation po nila ay ginawa na po ng PhilHealth. And we are expecting po that ma-cure na po yung mga recommendation ng ating auditor po. Ginawa na po ng year 2019 po yung mga recommendation po. I think there are only few, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, na hindi po naayos pa natin po. Ongoing pa po. Kagaya po ng sinasabi po kanina ni Auditor Tuason po that mga transaksyon na wala po supporting documents, yan po ay nanggagaling sa ating regional office. And ang ating regional office po ang nag-request sa ating regional office COA to verify po yung mga transaction na yan given po na masyado malaking dokumento po na iakyat during the time. And ang ating resident auditor po, si former resident auditor Ray Darang, ay nagbigay naman po ng pahintulot na doon na po i-review sa regional office natin po. And sa katunayan po, ay halos lahat ng regional offices po ng mga prior year adjustment ay nagawa naman po, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Eh, yung 2017, sinong nag-sign off doon? Who played your role for those financial statements for 2017?
Sa 2017, Your Honor, prior ang ating
Prior years, 2017, 2016, 2015.
sa 2016 po wala na po ako, sa 2017 po wala rin po ako. Dahil sa 2016 po ng October ay nasa regional office na po ako ng Tacloban.
Pero hindi nyo alam sinong gumawa ng trabaho ninyo to recommend the approval of the financial statements?
Ang Senior Vice President OIC, Senior Vice President during that time, Your Honor, ay si Mr. Gregorio Relioda, Your Honor. Relioda po.
Relioda. Anyway, ito lang ang point ko, sir. No? Kung pribadong kumpanya ito at paulit-ulit na adverse po ang findings sa financial statements ninyo, sinibak na ho kayo yung nakaupo dyan. Matagal na ho. Yan ang point ko lang ho. If you look at the previous accounting scandals for big corporations, pagka may skandalo ho sa financials, pag may fraud, sinisibak ho yan. Hinihingi po ng mga shareholders yan at saka ng board of directors. So I'm wondering, paano ho nangyari na this one, which is a public corporation, na dapat actually mas accountable at mas strict tayo dito kaysa sa pribadong korporasyon kasi pera ng bayan ito. And yet, paulit-ulit, taon-taon, nauulit itong mga audit observations ng Commission on Audit or COA na kulang-kulang po ang mga submissions ninyo. And yet, the same actors are still in place. That's what I'm wondering, VP Lim Siaco, no? Kasi kung sa akin, kung pribadong korporasyon ito, matagal nang nasibak yung mga taong in charge dyan sa mga financial statements.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, 2018 lang po ang ating financial statement, yung disclaimer ang opinion po. And prior years po ay unqualified ang opinion ng ating.
Yes, so basically they're saying you're not transparent. What the COA has been saying for many years now is Philhealth has not been transparent because mayroon siyang mga understated income or overstated income, tapos yung mga claimed the benefit payments hindi supported. So all of this paulit-ulit ho, yun ang sinasabi ko. So anyway, I've been made aware na merong COA special audits on 4 topics. So I'm happy na meron dahil yun ang panawagan ho natin. Sana yung COA isama na rin yung IRM dito because para makita talaga kung above board and fair yung dito, wala yung mga claims na present ni Majority Leader Zubiri, yung different modus operandi for instance, no? I have a slide, if we could put it on the screen, regarding the payouts for pneumonia. Mr. President, if the Secretariat could put that on the screen for the last 10 years, no? Ito po, for pneumonia ho. So, I'll address it, it's an open question to the Philhealth officials. Since 2009, where the payout for pneumonia was 1.6 billion in total for about 290,000 total claims, over 1 decade, it has ballooned 6 or 7 times to 10.6 billion, representing 737,000 claims. So napakalaki po yun ng paglobo. Klarong-klaro ayon sa datos. Would anyone want to answer why this is explain this phenomenon, sirs? Maybe President Morales will give him the first shot. Ho.
General Morales.
Maybe I'm not familiar with these figures because they go back about 10 years, but maybe SBP Lim Siaco should be familiar with them.
Okay, let's ask Mr. President.
I think SBP Pargas or Dr. Pargas can clarify this thing, Mr. Chair.
Sige ho, kahit sino na lang ho.
Yes. Mr. President, Senator Angara. Um, well, one is increasingly from 2010 up to 2020, the membership of Philhealth is also increasing, and for now, we have a universal coverage wherein everyone is a member. So, well, it could be one of those issues why, of course, the number of cases that we are receiving or claims that are being filed are also increased. Um, However, there are, yes, we have seen that increasingly the numbers are increasing through the years.
Could you furnish the committee with data as to the membership over those years that correspond to these claims? Ho? Like what was the membership in 2019? What was the membership in 2018? Just furnish it to us, please, so we could see if your explanation is correct, no?
Mr. President, Senator Angara, yes, we will provide po.
Oo. Thank you.
Mr. President.
Who is that? Who is that speaking?
Tony Del Rosario, are you allowing Senator Gar?
Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Senator Sani. We have a report coming from our health informatics and data analytics regarding pneumonia. We will submit po.
Sige ho. What is the answer ho? What is the SVP Del Rosario? What is the summary of that report?
The summary of the report is it is highly improbable for some areas to have sudden increase in pneumonia, and the report points to upcasing in those particular areas. The analytics report identify the regions where this is present, Your Honor.
Anong gagawin niyo ho? Anong action ang take niyo ho dyan sa based on that report?
Marami po ito, hindi lang pneumonia, no? Diabetic ketoacidosis, sepsis, yung operahan yung buong abdomen. Anyways, marami po itong reports. We have forwarded this to our regional offices. They have conducted investigations. Some of these were already referred to the National Bureau of Investigation. And the recent report amounts to 4.7 billion. Kaya po siya kalaki.
Kindly furnish us, SVP Del Rosario, ano po yung actions taken on your part and on the part of Philhealth?
The action taken is to furnish the reports to the regional offices, and for the regional offices to conduct the appropriate investigation. And the instruction is if the cases exceeds 20, this has to be referred to the National Bureau of Investigation. And if the case built up has already been conducted, to file the appropriate criminal charges before the respective DOJ prosecutors in the respective areas. So we'll submit those reports, Mr. President, to Senator Sani.
Yes, also. Total, andito ka na rin, SVP Del Rosario. Could you furnish us with all the cases which you reversed or the PARD reversed, which were denied at the regional level, but which you reversed and which required PhilHealth to pay out? Could you furnish us with all those? I think you have thousands. Maybe just a summary of the cases and how much PhilHealth paid for those reversed cases.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. The payment of claims is still with the regional offices. The decision of the part is whether there is merit in the appeal of the concerned providers. This is one of the topics during the congressional hearing in 2018, that there has been so much backlog in the processing of appeal administrative protests. The data forwarded to Congress was only 30,000, but when I conducted the inventory, it is almost 60,000. So this is a big challenge that was tackled by me during my tenure, Mr. President, Senator Sani.
Paki-furnish na lang ho nung datos and the details of the cases, please, sir.
We will do, Mr. President.
Mr. Chair, Senator Angara, if you don't mind.
Yes, Mr. President, okay lang sa akin for Mr. Kapad.
Yeah, I would like to take an exception of what PCO Morales is trying to paint. The idea that I'm interested of the property. Of course, I'm interested because that is for the building of regional office. October of 2019, I was at the fourth floor of this building, who been occupied by the regional office for like 20 years. And if there was an earthquake there, and I saw that the escape route for what do you call this? For the fire escape, it's not even the standard. And it's right beside it is a gasoline station. And second floor is a, what do you call it? Is a restaurant plus a printing press. And the process there is the main office came to look at for the property. So, and then let me show the petition. Let me show you quickly in a lightning manner the petition filed by the regional office for that building that for all these years they've been longing to have, because parang sardinas ngayon sila dito, and nakita ko yan. So I thought that request the board to approve for budget for a building lot and building for Region 9.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. I think that's okay. He can just furnish us the details. Medyo hindi na related yan sa mga tinatanong ko, Mr.
Yeah.
President.
Correct.
Yes, thank you.
Besides, it's almost 6:30. We've been here for...
Just two questions, Mr. President. I'm wrapping up.
Go ahead.
Kay VP Santiago, Nerissa Santiago, in relation to the question of, or the statement of our Colonel Laborte, could you furnish the committee with all of the bids which were single bid or single calculated bid and not competitive bids? Hindi ko na po tanungin isa-isa, but can we, and if it's not furnished, Mr. President, could we subpoena those documents? Dahil sinabi nga ni Colonel Bal na halos lahat single calculated bid and parang niluluto ho.
Yes, you're hereby directed to submit the documents requested by Senator Angara.
And the last question, Mr. President, is for the GCG chairman, si Sir Sammy Dagpin. Is he here, sir?
Yes, he was here earlier.
Yes, yes. Yes,
Ay,
sir.
good evening ho. Ang tanong ko lang ho, di ba yung mga bonuses po ng Philhealth officials, depende ho yan sa inyo? You have to sign off for them to get it?
Yes, based on the performance scorecard.
Anong patakaran ho dyan?
I explained that a little while ago, the balance scorecard, it contains the strategic perspective.
Hindi na ho yung scorecard, hindi na yung ano yung score na pag yun ang nakuha nila, hindi nila makukuha yung bonus. Oh.
At least 90.
They need to get 90.
Yes, yes, yes.
So nakatanggap ba ng bonuses yung mga Philhealth officials in the past few years?
17 and 18, no. 16, it was, the scorecard is based on a previous commission. They passed, they get their bonus for the 2016 scorecard. For the last 2 years, 17 and 18, no bonus. For 2019, still under validation because they submitted their documents just August 4, and we need to validate it first before we can secure that rating.
Para di na tumagal, sir, can we get the details in writing, Mr. President? That's all for me. Thank you. Thank you, Sir Dagpin. And thank you to all the officials for answering our questions. Salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you, Senator. Next is Senator. About 10 minutes.
Sir,
Senator Pia Cayetano.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. I'll be brief. I'll take off where Senator Sani Angara left off. No, President Morales about he showed us slide about the dramatic increase in the cases for pneumonia. And earlier, Senator Marcos also discussed her concern about the upcasing. So, what exactly was your reply to the question na are you familiar with that issue na napakaraming cases, and in fact in the last hearing somebody was even more explicit and said na nadadaya talaga itong sa pneumonia, no, yung pag-upcase. What was your reply again, President Morales? Like, are you familiar with this situation?
No, ma'am, I'm not familiar with this because this already existed. I think it was SBP De Rosario who was able to answer that question regarding pneumonia
Pero
cases.
yeah. So hindi po kayo familiar, but that itself, sir, surprises me because when I chaired the Committee on Health in 2004 up to 2010, broken lang by 2 years or so, no? But or sorry, between 2004 to 2016, but may break po yun. How many times na bring up sa amin yung yung situation ng upcasing ng pneumonia. So I'm a little bit surprised of something of that magnitude. Hindi ho kayo familiar. So I'll be the one, I'll cut this short and be the one to explain what happens, no? And let me know if you've never heard this or if you've heard this. Ang nangyayari, simpleng ubo, sipon, some doctors, well-meaning siguro without any intention na mangdaya, palibasa yung may supon, let's say trangkaso, pwede naman umuwi, pwede naman antibiotics lang, knowing that yung pasyente wala man ng 200 pesos or 1,000 pesos na pangbili ng antibiotics or upang ubo-sipon, sasabihin niya na, sige, i-consider na lang nating pneumonia yon para wala kang babayaran because our health system at present only pays for inpatient. Wala hong outpatient. Kaya para bang yung system natin, there's something wrong with it that it veers you towards inpatient care only. Are you familiar with this? Has this been brought to your attention,
Yes, ma'am.
sir?
Yes, ma'am. I think it's part of the 20,000 cases being investigated by the legal sector.
So familiar ho kayo
Okay, sige.
na parang endemic itong problem na to because partly aggravated by the system.
Opo,
So I'm
opo.
not even talking about may nandadaya pero out of, so familiar naman kayo to that extent.
Opo, opo. That there is such a
So,
problem.
okay. No. But are you familiar with the fact that part of the problem is the fact that inpatient-centric ang ating Philhealth system? Are you familiar that that system aggravates the problem?
Opo, opo.
Okay. Sir, what is your timeline and what are you doing about the outpatient care?
We are putting together the Consulta package, which is supposed to be part of the universal health care. It's supposed to be rolled out this year.
Okay.
And it has run into, well, because of the COVID pandemic, we have scaled back some of the activities, the packages which is under the Consulta package. But if I remember right, the package would include a series of tests to be conducted on patients. There would be an assignment. Every citizen will be assigned a healthcare center to which he would go for healthcare, and then he would be given a test so that his health profile can be determined, and then his medication and maintenance can be provided to him. But it is a long-term plan. Right now, I think yes. Okay.
Senator,
Sige, okay na yun, sir. Okay. Ay, nag-e-echo po. Somebody has a to... Ayan, nawala yung echo. Thank you. So, just to put on record, sir, no, ang under the UHC law, you are supposed to implement that by February, 2 years from effectivity. So, by early next year, dapat po effective na yan. So, I'm just pushing for that because I think I'm just trying to help you. This will help solve some of the problem. Not all, dahil hindi naman niya ma-address yung graft and corruption, pero yung mga naaawa sa pasyente, tapos they will book it as a inpatient pneumonia case, baka ma-solve po yan. Okay, so that's just one point I wanted to bring to your attention. Pneumonia is probably the worst, but there are similar cases also. My next question is directed to Attorney Del Rosario. Sir, nasa under your office ba yung task to draft the circulars that you issue, that PhilHealth issues?
Thank you, Mr. President. Ma'am, ano po yung circulars?
Is it under your office? Is that your job?
I'm sorry. The implementing circulars are being drafted by the program offices. So it will depend on the nature of the circular. If it pertains to healthcare financing policies, it will originate from one of the departments under the health finance policy
So
sector.
let me make this simpler. So itong circular that is very specific to COVID, yung pag-release ng IRM for fortuitous events? Sinong office ang nag-draft niyan? And do you have authority over the final review and release of that circular?
Mr. President, ma'am, si SVP Pargas will respond.
Okay.
Good.
Mr. President, Madam Senator, yes po. From the Health Finance Policy sector po, we revised the circular on fortuitous events, and it is now the Circular 007-2020. We need to revise it because we have to include the IRM as
No,
part of
I'm
the
not asking about revisions. I'm not asking about revisions. I'm just asking who is the office in charge.
the program management team for claims po under the Health Finance Policy sector.
Okay. Pero Attorney Del Rosario, lahat yan reporting to you as SVP Legal o hindi?
No, ma'am. I just, if they request for a legal opinion pertaining to a policy that they are implementing, they will request.
Okay. So ito hindi mo ni-review yung drafting nito.
I don't remember reviewing that, but we issued a legal opinion, Mr. President.
Okay. The point I'm driving at, Mr. President, is simply that ilang senators na ang nagbanggit nito last hearing and this hearing, and I'm one of the last and I'm repeating it again, na ano ba yung basis for releasing IRM for non-COVID related cases. And no less than President Morales, I believe, and kayo din, Attorney Del Rosario, that's why I initially directed it to you, keep on justifying that affected din naman kasi itong mga non-COVID cases by the whole situation. Yung mga may diabetes, yung mga whatever, di ba? Nagsabi din kayo, di ba, Attorney Del Rosario, no? You answered that earlier, right?
That is correct, Ma'am Pia. Mr. President.
And kayo po, President Morales, you also answered in a similar manner na nangangailangan din kasi itong ibang pasyente na non-COVID related. Tama ho ba?
Opo, under pandemic po.
Yes, okay. So the reason why I'm going back to the drafting is because it's very clear sa aking pagbabasa, and I will not prolong my time because it's late in the hour. Kayo na lang ho ang magbasa. Part 2, I'm referring to Philhealth Circular 2020-007. It's the guidelines or provision of special privileges to those affected by a fortuitous event. So subject pa lang niya, fortuitous event. Ang objective niya is continuous provision of healthcare services to all Filipinos adversely affected by a fortuitous event. So again, i-repeat po, specifically addressing President Morales and Attorney Del Rosario na hindi fortuitous event yung mga may diabetes treatment, yung mga may iba pang whether it's chemotherapy, kahit ano pang treatment, because matagal na hong nandun yun. If you wanted to assist them, you should have assisted them by virtue of a different circular. I'm pointing that out because part of the problem here, whether it's graft or corruption, another problem is unauthorized use. No? There may not be intent to deceive, pero it is inaccurate and unauthorized use of the funding as stated in the circular. So I'm just pointing that out kasi kayo yung VP for legal, and I would have assumed na dumaan to sa inyo. Sabi nyo nga kayo nagbibigay ng legal opinion. I don't really answer. Well, you may reply, but I'm done, Mr. President. Kasi paulit-ulit lang na ginajustify na nangangailangan lang yun. Eh, ang dami ng senador na paulit-ulit din sinasabi ng alam namin na nangangailangan sila. Pero ano yung legal basis nung pag-release nyo? Hindi dapat itong fortuitous event kasi hindi fortuitous event yung non-COVID na predictable naman. So I just want to clarify if I make myself clear kasi it all goes back din dito sa mga pinapapirmahan nyo sa board members nyo because it should be accurate and in line with the objective that you intend to address.
All right.
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
sir, give this one. We'd just like to reply to the statement of General Morales, sir.
Wait,
regarding this, sir.
allow Attorney Del Rosario to respond to Senator Cayetano, then you can take the
Thank
floor.
you, Mr. President. Ma'am Pia, we understand your point but it's the position of the Philhealth management and including the board that in this case, the fortuitous event is the pandemic, and that the role of Philhealth in financing healthcare during this crisis is of paramount importance. Thank you,
Wait,
Mr. President.
Well,
Mr. President,
before you do that, Senator Cayetano,
Mr. President,
the
sorry
secretary
po.
again at the back is noticing that Attorney De Rosario keeps on using the first name of the senators. You're not authorized.
I'm sorry,
You-
Mr. President.
You call them by their family names or your full name if you want.
Thank you, sir. I apologize,
Speak like
Mr.
you're
President.
chami-chami rin sa mga senador, ha? All right, Attorney Keith, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, because
Sorry, Mr. President, can I just respond? My last response lang kasi paulit-ulit ho yung sagot nila, so I feel like they still don't get the point eh. Mr. President, Attorney Del Rosario, you keep saying that it's the board's intention to address the pandemic. Wala naman ho sa amin, sa lahat ng senador, who disagrees with that. But I do not understand how come you do not get it that your circular was very specific to the fortuitous event and the effect of that fortuitous event. So hindi nga kasama doon yung hindi fortuitous na mga pagamutan. So please review that again because I cannot, at this point, I feel you're just being defensive about it. When the reality is, there's no one, and there's quite a number of lawyers in this team, in among the senators, who can understand how you can equate non-fortuitous ailments and consider it fortuitous. So yun lang pinapoint out ko kasi ang dami yung problema dun sa mga board resolutions na hindi clear, hindi iba yung interpretation nyo, iba yung intindi namin sa nakasulat. So that aggravates your problem. Yun lang, Mr. President. Thank you.
President, Senator Pia is a lawyer, so I'd like, would this tantamount to technical malversation?
Hindi na ako sasagot niyan. I'm not I'm not a criminal lawyer. So let's ask Senator, the minority floor leader who is laughing. My background is in corporate law.
Former Secretary of Justice and former Executive Secretary, you answer. Minority Leader. Are you...
Yeah, okay. Well, making a malversation case might be difficult because malversation is when you spend for something which for an activity which is not contemplated in the budget. In other words, malversation of public funds usually would involve conversion or spending of funds for a purpose not contemplated in the original appropriation. So maybe not. It's difficult to express an opinion just sitting down here. We may need to study it further.
All right, so we recognize Attorney Keith.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Sir, I have here since General Morales said that he does not trust me a while ago, sir. Actually, sir, job, sir, to do, just like for the accreditation of HCP, Dr. Portia Comes Natividad, sir. He has here his penmanship, sir. And this is a very alarming case, sir, because she was not accredited, and this was involved with the well-med case, sir. And I think it's 4 days or 5 days before I resigned, sir. She told me to fix also the well-med case, sir. That was my the last time, sir, that I can no longer handle the illegal orders from General Morales, sir. So there were 3 illegal orders, sir. The same.
Wait. Rewind a little.
Yes, sir.
By General Morales ordering you to fix the
The-
well-made case.
yes,
What
sir.
do you mean by
The
fix?
accreditation of Dr. Portia Camps Natividad, sir. Find a way to for her to be accredited against us an HCP, sir. And he has his penmanship here, sir. And then the date also is here at the back, sir. When he told me to fix this case, sir. And then I did not. I told Colonel Laborte about this one, sir. And then he told me that it is disconnected with the well-made case, sir, that which is gross dialysis. And then 4 or 5 days before I resigned, sir, he told me to also to find a way to for well-made the well-made dialysis to be accredited also, sir. So he trusts me, sir. But before, sir, I informed him that I do not want to be doing this, sir. That's why I told him that I do not want to talk to Commissioner Greco Bulica, sir. Maybe that he did not get they are trying to recruit me in short, sir. Also, Attorney Jojo Del Rosario, sir, for me to transfer to his office because they are trying already to recruit me, sir. That's all, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Commissioner Belica, you are
Mr. President.
you
Yes, sir.
have heard it, you are aware of it. I hope you
Yes, sir,
secure
we will
these
investigate.
documents.
Mr. President, we will investigate if I can request a copy of the documents right now.
All right.
Mr. President, may I answer? Yes, the accusation of Attorney Kit regarding Dr. Portia Natividad, I asked him to clarify it, not to fix it, because according to Dr. Natividad, her signature was forged in the claims. So that is what I wanted him to clear up. Her signature was forged. And yes, I asked him to liaise with PACC because at that time, after the, I think the Senate hearing, when the case rate of the COVID testing was brought up, and we were charged that our testing rates were overpriced, which we maintain up to today, were not overpriced. I thought that a simple clarification with PACC would resolve the matter. I did not tell him to massage. I never used that word. Now, when we received a formal subpoena from the PACC, I told him to stop the liaison because it would be already interfering in a formal investigation. So that was the reason I told him if he could resolve the issue of the case of Dr. Natividad, because as a phrenologist, Dr. Natividad's only source of income is practicing her profession. And she was also, I think, I was approached by a board member if I could do something about it. So I did not instruct him to fix it. I told him to resolve it if there is basis that indeed the signature of Dr. Portia Natividad was forged, as was her claim.
Wasn't that the case already with the ombudsman?
Well-made po, well-made.
Yes, well made. It's already with the ombudsman. It's a non-existent dialysis center, right?
Hindi na ako I'm not sure if it still exists today, Mr. President.
So you mean it was existing before?
Yes, they were existing. They got claims from Philhealth for dialysis, and that is the basis because they were charging for dead patients.
Then why did you order Attorney Kit to or ask Attorney Kit to fix the accreditation?
No, only of
Accredited before.
Dr. Portia Natividad, because her accreditation was suspended because she was named as one of the I think the medical director. So she signed some of the documents which was claimed by WellMed.
So you were pertaining to the accreditation of the doctor.
Yes, sir.
Senator Lacson is asking, what's your interest in having the doctor accredited?
Well, because many doctors only make their living by claiming from Philhealth. And if they are deprived of this living, they cannot support themselves. And in this case, I was informed, I think one of our board members informed me that according to Dr. Natividad, her signature was forged. So that was what I was asking Attorney Kit to clear up, if indeed her signature was forged.
Sir President, trabaho ng defense counsel sa ombudsman. Kung may defense counsel si Dr. Natividad, trabaho ng defense counsel niya yon to validate, kasi gagamiting defense, na forge yung kanyang signature. It's not for the Philhealth President and CEO to be interested in finding out whether or not forge yung signature ng tao. I cannot understand.
Well, this was brought to my attention by another board member. I was just trying to help out.
Who is the board member?
If I remember, it was board member Padua, who was also a nurse and was a acquaintance of Dr. Portia.
All right. Yeah, we will. Okay, we can verify that. Senator Richard Gordon, you're recognized. You have 10 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, from the very beginning, itong PhilHealth ay snake bit. Na nag-uumpisa yan, ginagamit ng lahat ng Pangulo na nabibigay ng mga ID card at ginagamit yung eleksyon. Yan o, nag-uumpisa yan. Kaya pag nakikita ng mga tao sa baba na nangyayaring pinupolitika yan, gagawin rin nila. So sa madaling sabi po, makikita natin ang historical record ng PhilHealth ay talagang, kung masasabi natin, notoriously undesirable na. Sorry for this statement. Ano po? Dahil ang dami-dami lumalabas na katiwalian at kawawa rin si President Morales dahil bago lang siya, nasasambot niya lahat. But like I said the other day, taon-taon halos nagpapalit ang presidente ang PhilHealth. Hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit. Matagal na. Pinakamatagal dyan si Duque, tapos si iba 2 years, 1.5 years, 1 year. So sa madaling sabi po, umpisahan po natin ang tutugan dito. Ang tanong ko, have we been scrupulously careful with the money of the people? Mukhang hindi eh. Mukhang hindi ko careful. Makita nyo, umpisahan po natin dito sa mga financial protection na nasasabi natin. Tatanungin ko lang iba at makikita natin na yung mga lumalabas na case rate payment hindi ginagamit ang ulo. Halimbawa, ang case rate ang babayaran mas mababa, tinataas pa rin nila yung case rate. My suggestion, sir, is pagka may case rate ka, dapat pwede mong i-adjust yan. Kung ang presyo ng hospital mas mababa, the PhilHealth should have the option to pay them the lower rate. Pwede po ba yan, Mr. Morales?
Pwede po, to pay the lower rate.
In other words, may flexibility tayo. Ano?
Opo, pwede po.
Hindi porque case rate ipipilit. Kasi lumalabas ang laki-laki ng diferensya ng case rate Makikita nyo, halos 153% ata ang binayad. Ayan, no? Halimbawa sa pneumonia, ang critical 786,000, pero ang actual claim is only 511,000. So madaling sabi, 153.65%. Sino ang nag-ahati dyan sa sobra? So malinaw na pwedeng tigilin ka agad dyan by saying, hindi, babayaran natin yung lower rate. Yun ang sinisilang hospital. Ngayon, ang tanong ko, sino ba talaga in charge? Sabi ni Mr. Salvador, nung isang beses, ang nasa frontline talaga mga regional directors. Sabi niyo, regional directors ngayon lang pumapayag na magpa-shuffle. Pero totoo niyan, 20 taon na hindi nag-shuffle ng regional directors. Sama po ba yan?
Opo.
Kaya magkakaroon tayo ng mga sabuatan. Halimbawa, isa sa buwatan dyan, yung sa Katarman, 20 kama ang binabayad, napakalaki. Hindi ba? May mga cases na mga binabayaran kahit na walang accreditation. Hindi ba dapat hawak ng regional director yan bago dumaan sa inyo, dadaan muna sa kanila?
Opo.
Oh, yun. So, ang dami pang mga ginagawa na yung tinatawag nating mga ginagawa ng dapat gawin ng regional director na dapat i-report. Yung overpayment numbers, nandyan, ilan yan? In 2016, 2 regional offices ang nag-overpayment. Bagay, 5.825 million sa kanila, maliit lang yon. 2017, 2.72 million. Sa 2018, 4.679 million. Overpayment lahat yan. May ginawa ba dyan nung araw? Hindi na sa inyo yan. Pero before pa yan. Kung umiiral yan ngayon, dapat investigate na kagad ba't nag-overpayment. Tama po ba yan?
Opo.
Hindi ginagawa. No. Halimbawa, dito sa ospital, may findings ng COA, overpayment in pneumonia cases sa Bukidnon. 56,000 ang actual charges. Ang siningil ng Philhealth, ang binayaran ng Philhealth, 150,000. Lampas ng 93,000. Ang Mondok Peninsula, 200,000, 397. Ang binayaran ng Philhealth, 5,025,000. Ang Siasi District Hospital, 67,000. Ang binayaran ng Philhealth ay 439,000. Ang lalaki ng sobra. Patong-patong. At even here sa Manila, Gat Andres Bonifacio Memorial Medical Center, 5,200,000. Ang binayaran, 28.8 million for an overprice of 23,600. So, makikita nyo, all the hallmarks are there. Ginagawa ba yan ng PhilHealth dati? Ng paraan, yung mga dating presidente? Inaalis ba yung mga regional director? Hindi. Yung WellMed, hindi ba? Yung WellMed, ang tagal-tagal bago na-discover na nagbayad tayo ng 153 million sa mga patay, 200 patay. Tapos, anong ginagawa ninyo ngayon? Nasa inyo na yan ngayon. Kinasuhan niya ng dinala sa regional trial court, hindi umusad yung kaso. Yung pala dapat i-file yung kaso sa municipal trial court. Ano po ang ginagawa niyo dyan ngayon?
Sa pagkaalam ko, ang Department of Justice nag-file ho ng kaso na yan. At ang makakasagot siguro ng exact asusun yan si SBP De Rosario na legal sector ho namin.
Andiyan ba siya?
Andito po.
Oh.
Mr. President, good afternoon, Senator Gordon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good.
Sir, with the Metropolitan Trial Court, Mr. President.
Nandun ngayon?
Yes, sir. Opo.
May file nyo na?
Yes, na-file po ng prosecutor ng DOJ.
Oh, hindi ba dapat bilisan niya yung kaso yan? Linaw-linaw, close, open and shut yan.
Yes, sir. I think it's being prioritized.
No, tatanungin kita, sino ang prosecutor nyo? Ang record ng prosecutor nyo, 0 ang napoprosecute at isa lang ang arbitration. Sa dami-dami ng kaso, 0 ang napoprosecute. Ikaw ba yun?
Sir, as I explained earlier, the 0 rating given by the GCG refers to the number of cases that were processed within a defined turnaround time. But ang nangyari po, the cases resolved was around 1,700, pero lahat po lampas po doon sa 40 turnaround time ng prosecution. Kaya po siya 0. And this was in 2017, I think, tama, Director, no? 2017. Thank you, Mr. President.
Nonetheless, ang perception, di ba, ang perception lumalabas, wala tayong effect. Wala tayong nagagawa, hindi umuusad ang mga kaso, 0 perception, kahit anong paliwanag natin, 0 pa rin lumalabas yan. So, ang nangyayari, nakakalusot lahat yung mga nagluloko. Meron na ba kayo pinoprosecute na regional director?
Yes, sir. Mga regional directors na their cases is about to be presented to the PhilHealth Board.
About to be. After 20 years, about to be, magkakaroon kayo.
Yes, sir. I understand it will now be deliberated by the PhilHealth Board. In the
Dapat kayo deliberate pa. Dapat meron na kayong forward na recommendation. Kung talagang meron sense of urgency, mabilis na yan. Eh bakit kung tatanungin lang, doon lalabas, di ba?
That is correct, sir.
Sasabihin ko lang, ito, ginawa ito ni Senator Drilon. And yung creation of the Governance Commission for Government-Owned or Controlled Corporations, binabantayan ng mga korporasyon. Ito nakalagay. Payag ba kayo dito, Secretary Morales, General Morales? A. Evaluate the performance and determine the relevance of the GOCC to to ascertain whether such GOCC should be reorganized, merged, streamlined, abolished, or privatized. Have you tried to reorganize, sir?
We are trying po. We're trying, but we're still in the process. I fully agree po with that proposal.
Ay, ibig sabihin, present progressive tayo lahat. Ginagawa pa lang ho. Ang sagot. Ganyan ang sagot sa gobyerno eh. Pag may tinanong, ang sasabihin, present progressive. Ginagawa na ho. Parating na ho. Oh. Tapos, tayo ba ay nag-reshuffle? Narinig ko kanina, sinabi ni Senator Dilo niya sasabihin ko, pareho kami. Restructure na o nag-reshuffle na ba tayo? Sinabi ko na yun isang araw pa.
Opo. But before we do that po, kailangan muna sana namin mag-business process review para maintindihan ko paano ang mas magandang structure ng organisasyon for the universal healthcare at sa expansion ng Philhealth.
Paano naman tayo mag sa universal healthcare? Nakikita nyo, nagkakalat yung mga tao natin. Dapat matanggal lahat yung mga non-performing asset, mga NPA. Yung mga salbahe.
Opo, kaya I'm looking forward to report ng PACC at baka may magamit ho kami galing sa kanilang finding.
Ito, tingnan ito. Section 3. The GOCC is not producing the desired outcomes or no longer achieving the objectives and purposes for which it was originally designed and implemented, and or not cost efficient and does not generate the level of social, physical, and economic returns via the resource inputs. Ang lalaki ng pinapasok, nakakakuha ba kayo ng balik dyan? Ang servisyo na sa tao dapat. Pero lumalabas, some are served more than at pinaghahatian pa yung sobra. Yan ang lumalabas sa akin. Saan nagagaling yan? Again, regional director. Kaya yung nagsabi na hindi raw walang kasalanan yung regional director, hindi niya alam ang pinagsasabi niya. Because nag-uumpisa sa baba ang problema. Malayo sila. Kailangan nakatali sa inyo yan, meron kayong hinihigit na tali pa nagkakamali sila. Tama po ba yan?
Opo.
Dapat yun ang gawin. Kaya dapat, tignan nyo na, recommend to the President the abolition or privatization of the GOCC, and upon the approval of the President, implement such abolition or privatization unless the President designates another agency to implement such abolition or privatization. Andiyan lahat ang power sa GCG. So, dapat hindi na natatakot yung mga tao natin dyan sa Philhealth eh. Ang nakikita ko, lahat may kanya-kanyang paputok, no? So, kailangan malaman natin. So, gusto ko lang sabihin, patapos na ako, kailangan natin overall system. Tama po ba yan?
Opo.
At the very least, we have to reshuffle. Tama po ba yan?
At the very least po.
The Vice Presidents, if they're guilty of something, they must be removed and charged. Tama po ba yan?
If found, kung may evidence po, yes.
Maraming ebidensya eh. Paano nyo naman matatago yung ebidensya nyo, yung mismong SBP nyo? Tama ba yan? May kamag-anak siya, binabayaran yung mga 20-bed hospital na napalaking amount, 9 million ata yan. Tama po ba yan?
Opo.
Ano ba kailangan ebidensya doon? Dapat magpaliwanag na kagad yun. Ayan, no? 40 beds sa Borongan amounted to 50.6 million. I correct myself. 50.16 million just in 1 year. In Oras, Eastern Samar, nakalagay dyan, a 20-bed hospital collected from the Philhealth, 43.2 million. Ano pa ba ang kailangan na liwanag para malaman natin na dapat sibakin na yan? Notoriously undesirable.
Malinaw na po yung mga ebidensya na yan na makakaproduce po siguro ng kaso.
Pero dapat gumalaw na ho kagad. Yan ang hinahanap ng tao. Kaya ang tanong ko, ibang pera ng tao nagagamit natin para sa kapakanan nila. Susunod ko po ito. Kung hindi talaga nagpe-perform, tanggalin na ng attrition. Sa military may attrition di ba? Bago ka ma-promote, kailangan mag-i-examine ka, titignan yung performance mo. Sa civil service, may ganon. Ilang beses na pumapalpak, hindi nakaka-prosecute. Dapat palitan na yan, di ba? Parang time out, yung mga doktor, time out, di na namin kaya, o magpahinga tayo, alamin natin kung saan tayo papasok. Wala atang ganyan Paano palit ng captain ball or coach? Di po ba?
Opo.
Panahon na po ba magkaroon ng board of supervisors ang Philhealth? Siguro kumuha tayo ng mga retired na mga matataas sa taxpayer. Alam nila siguro magagawa dyan para matulungan kayo. I'm proposing that na lahat ng matataas na nagbabayad ng taxes dito na mga may panahon, tulungan tayo dahil ito ay napakaselan sa bayan natin. Magkakagulo ang tao pag wala nang ibabayad sa ospital. Tama po ba yan?
Opo.
You agree with that?
I agree po, Senator.
Thank you. And then, yung bang wastage, binabawi ba natin? Ano ba, yung binayad doon sa hospital na yan na 20 beds at saka 40 beds, hindi ba nyo ahabulin yan? Yung overprice, yung overpayment sa pneumonia, Diyos po, 153%, hindi natin mahahabol yan.
I-liquidate po nila yon. Yung magsasabit po sila ng mga liquidating documents sa pagkakalam po.
Paniliquidate, pero kailan matatapos yan? Sa isang taon? Maybe this year, maybe next year, maybe never? Ang tao nagagalit. Naghihintay sila.
May limit po.
Halimbawa,
liquidation
sa pneumonia, ang record ng gobyerno, official records ng National Statistics Office at ng DOH ay about 400,000 plus ang pneumonia. Ang binayaran nyo in the same year is 750,000. Di ba dapat tingnan nyo yun? Bakit ganon? Mas mataas ang binayad ninyo kaysa doon sa talagang na-record ng ospital, nasa mga record ng public health na 400,000 lamang ang nagkaroon doon sa Philhealth sa pneumonia. Hindi ko maintindihan yun. I suggest you look into that. Because hindi naman kami nag-ahabol dito para sibaking kayo. Inahabol namin yung gagawin ninyo. Ayan, 454,000 ang DOH, ang PhilHealth 707,000. Ang disparity is 253,135 or 55% more ang nakikita nyo pneumonia kaysa sa Department of Health. Nakita nyo na po ba yan? I'm sure nakita nyo na yan.
Meron po kaming computer program na nagtatako ng mga ganyan, mga outliers. At sinusubaybayan ho namin yan.
At pag hinimay nyo, makikita nyo kung saan region marami. Tama po ba?
Opo.
Bakit hindi natin gawin kagad yun para malaman natin? Halika dito, papalitan ka na. Ayan na, di mo mapaliwanag yan.
Opo, meron na kami.
Yung overpayment, di ba? Lalabas dyan.
Opo.
Tapos, magmamadali ako at kulang sa oras eh. Halimbawa po, yung sinasabi ng mga kwan, di ba panahon na magkaroon tayo ng, meron akong pinafile na bill ngayon, yung para sa Amerika, yung FBI, meron silang anti-fraud insurance group. Sa akin, NBI, pero isasama ko Insurance Commission para magtulungan pati Philippine National Police para yung mga ganyan, masasabat natin at mahuhuli natin lahat yung mga nagluloko. Payag ba kayo doon?
Opo.
Nakikita ko, magaling kayong leader, sa payag kayo ng payag sa akin eh. Hindi naman ako nagbibiro, pero yun ang nakikita ko. Tapos, hindi po ba yung mga namamatay, nagbabayad kayo, di po ba panahon na dapat i-computerize natin yung Philippine Statistics Authority na dapat pag may namatay, automatic, bibigyan ng SSS, bibigyan ng PhilHealth, bibigyan ng GSIS, para nalalaman natin kung sino namatay at alam din na natin babayaran. Hindi ba nangyari yung sa WellMed? Pwede po ba yan?
Meron na kami memorandum of agreement with the PSA at yung ibang ahensya po.
Ano nangyari sa memorandum?
Inaano yung IRR at yung mga detalye yung wino-work out.
Ano nyo, ang pinakamatagal gawin dyan, yung IRR eh. Dapat bilisan nyo. Nail it down, fix it later. Dahil kailangan mapaliwanag sa tao bakit sabog-sabog. Masasabi ko therefore ngayon, ang conclusion ko, talagang hindi lang kayo, wala naman ako nakikita sa inyo, kundi yung nakaamba yung 25 million na dapat ikukuha nyo na IT, kailangan nyo yung IT, I'm supportive of that. Pero kung meron nag-a-attempt na mag-overprice, meron na ba kayong ginawa dyan?
Opo, ngayon lang po, pinapano ho namin yung mga COVID, meron marami ho nag-reports na yung COVID, kahit na hindi yung COVID, nire-report na COVID, so pinapa-imbestiga ho namin ngayon.
Pero hindi, yung sa overprice na 25 million, yung sa mga sasabihin, bibilin ninyo sa IT, na sinasabi ko.
Nire-rectify ho namin yan. Nire-reconcile namin yung mga cost.
No, pero dapat, pag nahuli na yung tao na nag-overprice siya, attempted na yan, sira na ang kanyang credibility sa inyo. Di po ba?
Opo, mabablacklist na ho sila.
Hindi lang yung supplier, pati yung tao mo.
Opo.
Meron na ba tayong ginawa, tinanggal dyan, o pinapagpaliwanag?
Meron ho, pinapaliwanag.
Yan. So, ayun lang, panahon na rin ba maglagay tayo, kumbaga sa private insurance, meron silang adjuster. Para kung sumobra, dapat maayos. Di ba?
Meron po, third party ho yan. Sa federal ho, merong third party na insurance adjuster. Ginagamit po nila. Pero wala ho tayong ganyan.
Hindi pwede magkaroon ng ganyan.
Wala ho tayong ganyan. Pero pwede ho tayo magtayo ng sarili natin.
Inahain ko rin yung legislation dyan. Dahil kayo, nasa government corporations kayo, ilalagay ko yung mga report ko. Yun lang po ang gusto kong tanongin. Marami pa, pero alam kong pagod na si si kapatid Senate President Soto. At gusto ko lang magpaalam at sabihin sa inyo na, well, we have to fix the problem. Hindi lang fix the blame. Hindi lang tayo banat ang banat dito. Pero dapat may mga solusyon. Ayan o, ilan sa mga solusyon, pagtulungan natin yan, para hindi naman mapurnada yung mga binabayad ng taxpayer sa tao. Hihingi na naman kayo ng 72 billion pesos. Pagkatapos uulit na naman yan, hindi na talaga makakapayag ang tao. Lalo na ngayon, naghihirap ang tao. Di po ba?
Opo, Senator.
Ayan. Sige po, sa madaling sabi po, I just want to inform my colleagues in the Senate na yung investigation ko po dito sa Blue Ribbon nitong Philhealth nung Agosto dapat tumuloy kaya lang natapakan ng GTC yung kalokohan doon sa jail sa prison at tapakan ng iba pa mga iniimbestiga. Tapos po yun. Ngayon ko ilalabas ko na ho yan kasama na ho yung mga information. Isasabit ko na lang ho dito sa Committee of the Whole para magamit natin pare-pareho yung na-findings natin with the permission of the Senate President.
Yes, that is most welcome, Senator Gordon.
Thank you very much, sir. And thank you for giving me the time. I hope I did not overstep my bounds. Thank you very much. Thank you, General Morales. Thank you.
Senator Lacson and I usually enjoy your overtime.
No.
No problem. If you have used more than that,
baka yung relay nyo made by Philhealth. Baka magkakamali kayo.
All right. Thank
Mr.
you.
Senate President, just
Yes, Senator Lacson,
this was
before we
barely touched
wrap up.
during the discussion. I wonder how PhilHealth will address, because they are a withholding tax agent of the BIR. And since yung kanilang mga advance payments, hindi sila nag-withhold ng taxes, and kung hindi makaliquidate, may suggestion si Senator Gordon kanina, na pag hindi makaliquidate, i-retrieve. So I think that's an accounting nightmare, no? Kasi hindi kayo nag-withheld ng taxes like yung tax on facility fee, on VAT, no, professional fee, pati sa facility fee nila. How would you handle that? Medyo magulo. Kasi kung nakapag-release na kayo ng how much? 14.09 billion pesos in IRM. Wala kayo na withheld na tax. And you are a withholding tax agent ng BIR. Pag hinabol kayo ng BIR, sino magbabayad? PhilHealth. No, so how would you handle that? I'm just wondering. Saan kayo kukuha ng pera pag hinabol kayo ng BIR?
Mr. Chair, Your
Yes,
Honor.
Mr. Chaco,
Relative to the withholding tax, Your Honor, ang minibidheld lang po natin po ay ang private. Sa government po ay hindi ho tayo nag-withheld. Ibig sabihin po, sa total na 14.97 billion po, halos kalahati lang po doon ang ating subject to withholding tax, Your Honor.
So sa private, nag-withhold kayo?
Sa private lang po yung withholding tax po natin.
So naka-withhold kayo? Sa private? Did you withhold the taxes on
Your
private
Honor,
HCIs?
I'm sorry to say, Your Honor, na
Hindi.
ito po ay ang IRM natin ay advances.
Yeah,
And,
advance
naisip ko
payment subject to withholding tax yan. I asked the BIR on this.
Okay.
Pag advance payments, kailangan withhold yung taxes. So, ang tanong ko, whether it's 7 billion or 14 billion, how will you handle that now since you did not withhold?
Yes, Your Honor. And it was discussed, Your Honor, that PhilHealth will remit the withholding tax intended para sa BIR natin na kumbaga that's amounting to 156 million pesos, Your Honor, na binayaran po ng PhilHealth sa ating BIR dahil that was last, I think, August 3 po ang deadline ng pag-remit po ng supposed to be i-withheld po natin.
Well, saan yung chinards?
Yan po ay kasama po doon sa charge natin sa COB natin for the benefit benefit expense.
Dapat winidhold nyo yun from the private hospitals or HCIs. Hindi nyo winidhold, so nag-abono ng PhilHealth.
Yes po, Your Honor. And we will during the liquidation, Your Honor, ay doon natin tukunin po yung pinambayad natin sa BIR.
I cannot understand that. Alam nyo palang dapat mag-withhold, at least sa private, but hindi nyo withhold.
Your Honor, sorry, Your Honor, I think hindi ho namin alam na mag-withhold kami sa umpisa po, Your Honor. That's the reason why po na hindi ho tayo naka-withhold doon, Your Honor.
Eh bakit alam ng mga senador? Pera ng PhilHealth, dapat unang-una nyo yan.
Your Honor,
Ang galing naman, magtanong na kayo sa BIR eh. Di ba? Hindi naman mahirap magtanong. Ako, isang telephone ko lang, nagtanong ako sa isang official ng BIR. Sabi niya, advance payments, dapat mag-withhold. That's why I'm asking you now, bakit kayo hindi nag-withhold?
Yes, Your Honor. And that was also the advice of our tax consultant, Your Honor, on that the matter that during the time that it was discussed sa ating board, Your Honor.
Now, how will you liquidate 150 million plus? Saan yung charge sa account ninyo?
Yan po ay kukunin po natin during the liquidation, Your Honor, sa ating mga HCIs, Your Honor. Liquidation ibig sabihin, Your Honor,
Hindi ko maintindihan yung
diba
sagot
yung
nyo.
claims nila, Your Honor, na may ipapasok sa atin and i-charge doon sa IRM and sinasabi ho kanina that na-defer siya and ngayon ay tutuloy na natin yung liquidation. Po natin ibabawas pati po yung ibayad natin sa BIR, Your Honor.
Hindi nga deferred, ginawa yung optional ang liquidation.
Your Honor, the liquidation is not optional, Your Honor. Yung liquidation, Your Honor, defer lang yung time niya during this time that nasa pandemic pa tayo.
Anyway, that's all, Mr. President. I
Your
cannot
Honor.
understand the responses.
Mr. President.
Your Honor,
Yes,
may I?
Attorney Kit.
Yes, Mr. President. During the previous calamities or fortuitous event, they all hold taxes here, sir. So he's saying that he does not know, sir, but he knows, sir, because he's a CPA, sir, and they have already past experiences, sir, that they always withhold taxes, sir, and it is a criminal and administrative liability, sir. You are not withhold, and then the amount that he's telling, that's only 154. It's not accurate, sir, because it's the minimum tax that the Philhealth could withhold should be 300 million, sir. And the maximum is what's in this slide a while ago, sir. It will be 1.7 billion, sir, if they're going to really withhold taxes, according to the slide a while ago, sir. Thank you very much,
Your
sir.
Honor. Withholding tax po sa ating IRM, as mentioned kanina, mayroon na tayong Yolanda, mayroon na tayong Marawi, mayroon na tayong Taal. And sinasabi, Your Honor, na nag-withhold kami doon. I'm sorry, Your Honor, hindi ho namin naabot sa aming kaalaman na mag-withhold ho tayo. And ang liquidation po, ang withholding tax po ay ginawa natin during liquidation po. So kumbaga nakarimit naman po yung taxes intended for our BIR.
Professional fee, 15% yan eh. Sa doctor, final.
Yung ating po sistema ng
Sa healthcare providers,
ito po ay withholding tax lamang sa ating HCI po. Wala sa healthcare institution lang po. Wala po tayong withholding tax sa professional dito dahil ang payment po ni PhilHealth ay binibigay po natin sa hospital, sa mga facilities po. And it's up for the HCI to withhold whatever taxes intended para sa ating mga, galing sa ating mga doctors, Your Honor. And
Okay,
sinasabi ko
Mr.
nga-
Lim Xiaopo,
Yes po, sir.
how much are you paying your tax consultant on a monthly basis?
I don't
Magkano
have,
consultancy fee?
Your Honor, right now.
How many tax consultants do you have?
Isa lang po.
How much are you paying him? You fire him. May tax consultant tapos hindi alam na mag-withhold.
Your Honor, ngayon lang po namin kukuha yung consultant and that's the advice ng consultant po natin na mag-withhold nga tayo, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
The way I listen to your explanations, talagang mahihilo nga si General Morales sa inyo. Hindi lang
Ikaw
ikot
bang
eh.
naawag kay General Morales sa ginagawa ninyo?
Actually, ho,
Ikot eh.
alam mo ni board member Kabading yan, pero hindi niya ako shinare yung information.
What? Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, Attorney.
Hello? It's a matter of, excuse me, Mr. Chair. Yes, Mr. Chair?
Go ahead, go ahead. Alam mo daw yan, sabi ni General Morales, di mo raw sinabihan.
Oh, that is not something for the board to be discussed. That is a matter of operation, and it's the one who handles the disbursement. They know that in and out they're withholding taxes. Eh. Why would we discuss that on the level of the board? We have different agenda there. These are being every month.
Ito mo, he wants the board, he wants management to fail. That is his intention.
I don't think so. I
Yes.
don't think so.
That is also the intention of the question. We want the withholding taxes paid to government.
Yeah, I don't understand why would they say that for me. I don't think so. That's my intention. My intention is for it to be better. And kung if you're referring to the IT to be failed, it's not my intention that the IT to be failed. Tinitingnan lang kung kailangan ng IT bibilhin natin. Bakit naman? Tinitingnan lang natin yung overprice. At saka yung mga hindi approve ng DICT. That's about it. So why would you say that I want the board to fail? That's absurd. Thank you.
Baka hindi tayo narinig masyado ni General Morales. We were talking. Anyway, we related to the motion earlier presented by Senator Lacson, and because it's already past 7 o'clock, we are constrained to suspend and continue next week. We will subpoena and invite the necessary persons to. Senator Dillon, yes, you are recognized before the good manifestation.
Yes, just a point of inquiry, Mr. Chairman. Last week, we requested that the legal opinion which I think one of them mentioned as having been rendered before the IRM was adopted, they committed to submit it to the Senate. I'm just wondering if it has been so submitted. And for the next hearing, we would like to request that the GCG chair be requested to come back. And also, we do hope that Secretary Duque can be available. That's all, Mr. President. And
All right, we will, the Secretary will take note of the manifestation of Senator Dillon and the necessary invitation or subpoena. By the way, the records that we asked for were submitted. Yun nga yung kanina pinagtatalunan na nauna yung karwahe kaysa sa kabayo. Yes, Attorney Lavi.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. Good afternoon, Senators. I'd just like to make some manifestation or clarification to the issues mentioned today, sir, before the committee ends today. Number one po, sir, sa case po ng Balanga. Yes, the resolution of the ad hoc committee is already in my office, and we are actually making a recommendation for General Morales because the content of the resolution, there were several material facts that were omitted from the case, Your Honor, and that's why we are making recommendation direct to General Morales. And the way
May I ask what material facts were omitted during the first investigation? Ano yung mga material facts that were omitted?
several, sir, like how many instances that they made transfer to the bank, and among others, sir. So those are material
Ano yung initial findings? Deliberate or what?
neglect, sir.
Neglect.
Simple neglect, sir, which
Simple neglect.
okay, which my office could not let General Morales sign documents like that.
Anyway, Commissioner Belica will attend to that kasi may coordination sila sa ombudsman. Ano?
Yes, sir. And further to that, I remember because I joined Philhealth around August, and SVP Del Rosario was not the SVP of legal that time because he was on study leave, sir. And I was directly coordinating with the OIC, Attorney Pocalyan. So I got hold of the information about this case. And that's why when the resolution was forwarded to my office, me and my other lawyers in the OCLC were is plugging that document, sir. Then as regards to the switches, we also plug it, sir, because of the advice. But I think there's some sort of miscommunications among PhilHealth employees, to be candid about it, because uh, Colonel Laborde already informed Brigadier General De Villa about the alleged overprice. But to my surprise, when I conducted an investigation about this, there was another document that came out wherein a VPCO was already a signature with this. And I suppose that should be communicated back to NCR, pro NCR, because the project or the end user is from PRO NCR po. Then, with regard to the assigned cases assigned to me by General Morales, especially the arbitration office po, for the record po, Your Honor, Mr. President, I think this is unparalleled because there were, for this, for 1 year alone, arbitration office was able to resolve 2,954 cases, including WellMed po, kasi ito po yung pinapatutukan po sa akin ni General Morales, one of the assignments na binigay po niya sa akin. WellMed, there were 82 cases po na na-decide na, and according to record po, 8.2 million po yung penalty na
Attorney
finalized na po.
will you just furnish the committee a copy of your
Yes, Mr.
of your
President.
legal actions that you will be submitting also, huh? So
Yes,
that
sir.
we can save time, right? Thank you. We
po.
will take it up next time. Anyway, in the meantime, as I said, no, before I suspend, related to the motion earlier presented by Senator Ping Lacson, granting immunity to certain Secretariat is hereby instructed to communicate to the Secretary of Justice that the Senate President has approved a recommendation that the following witnesses in the legislative investigation of the Philhealth be admitted to the Witness Protection Security and Benefit Program in accordance with Section 4 under Republic Act 6981. Attorney Torson Montesquit, Mr. Alejandro Cabading, and Colonel Etrobal Laborte. For the record.
Thank you very much, sir.
So, with that, we will suspend the Committee of the Whole until Tuesday of next week, but perhaps we will have to make it earlier if there will be sessions already. We will inform you of the exact time. It's either 9 or 10 in the morning. Thank you. Session is suspended.